Yo, 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 what's going on?
Here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Another day, another podcast. What's going on, Alex?
Another week, another podcast would make more sense, but
I'm not in the business of making sense. I'm in the business of words.
sense is words. Words are sense.
just words, you know. It is
Everything is a word if it's coming out of your mouth almost.
Oh man, oh geez. So you know what I've been up to this week? Watching a now fairly old ass show. I don't even remember what year the final season came out, but I'm rewatching the final season of Sherlock because I never finished it. I realized it's only 3 episodes. Never finished the 3rd episode.
I don't know if I did either. I have no interest in it.
Well,
I remember the first episode being stupid, really weird, so I gave up.
Exactly. So I feel, and the worst part is like Stephen Moffat did this season. Like you and I love Stephen Moffat for all the things he did with
Really? Because I thought it was
no, like the credits say Stephen Moffat as it enters each episode. Like he was running the final season.
I thought it was what's his face, the guy who did his brother. What's his name?
I don't know. Are you eating a Kit Kat?
No.
What is it?
You don't need to know.
Well, now I really want to because I really want a snack now.
I don't know. It doesn't say Kit Kat. It says
yeah, it fucking says Kit Kat right on it.
I don't believe it.
What is this fake news nonsense, Alex?
You're the fake news.
I thought better of you. Do you like my new lighting?
Mark Gatiss, that's his name.
It's glow.
Let's see.
But no, seriously, I like the beginning of the opening credits always say Stephen Moffat. So
yeah, he was a showrunner, but I'm just saying. Yeah. Let me just look in here.
Anyway, while you look that up, I'm going to explain a little bit about why I got back into watching it. So yeah, I did realize that I never finished the show, and Jamie and I, my partner and I, have been going through a list of shows that, you know, we want to finish. Like we've started, we're trying not to start new shows until we've gone through and finished some of these older shows that we've never gotten around to finishing. So Doctor Who is on the list. We're not fully up to date with the latest season, as I've talked about with you on this podcast a few times. And we realized that Sherlock was one of those shows that we got to the 99th percent. Like we finished 2 of the 3 episodes of the final season.
Dude, like season what?
Like
there's 4 seasons. So you watching season 4?
We're watching season 4, the final season. Yeah.
Okay, because you kept saying 3. So that's
my bad. 3 episodes. Final season, season 4.
Yes,
my bad.
So Mark Gatiss also wrote it. So it was like him and Stephen Moffat wrote it. Mark Gatiss was the main writer of it. Stephen Moffat wrote on the show.
Okay.
That's why I was like,
yeah, sure. Regardless, yeah. So like I went back, started watching it. First episode, I'm like trying to figure out why I stopped, why I never finished the show. And getting through the first episode, it's kind of like it feels long. It feels a bit depressing. Like,
well, the first one, this whole came back on New Year's Eve for a reason. It was New Year's Eve something, I don't remember.
Well, they had a couple specials, right? Like they did a special. They did like 2 back-to-back specials. They did the one where it was kind of like old-timey Sherlock, and then they did another one where they're in this like mansion and he ends up actually like killing the guy at the end of the episode, and then hops on a jet and flies away basically. It was like kind of weird, but it was to set up for the final chapter, final arc. So the first episode starts and I start realizing why I stopped watching, which was I really didn't like the character arc that they took for John Watson. He suddenly is like promiscuous and like cheating on his now wife, who they just got married, I think in the 3rd season. They have a baby.
Full circles for a reason, right?
Oh yeah. But I mean, like at this point, it's just kind of like, what is going on? Like this is really like weird for his character. It just doesn't seem like John Watson, the Dr. Watson that I've known and grown up with through many iterations of Sherlock. So that threw me for a spin initially. And the episode just kind of felt a little drag on a little bit. Like they basically teased that we were going to see a return of Moriarty. But he never reveals himself. You get through the whole episode, he never shows up. And obviously the episode ends with John Watson's wife dying. And so you're just kind of like, okay, like, kind of weird. Rosie is her name, and she dies. And so you're like, okay, didn't really see that coming. And like, it just leaves the end of the episode, leaves you realizing that like John doesn't want anything to do with Sherlock. He's just done with him. He hates him. He blames him, all this stuff. Second episode starts up, and you've got like Sherlock, who's just like all strung out, and he's just like wasting away. You've got John, who's continuing to just be angry and not like allow himself to properly mourn, and he's like going to therapists, but he's not really opening up to them. And so like this kind of stuff is happening.
Because I don't remember Rosie. That's all. I'm just
Rosie's the blonde. She was a secret agent who ends up marrying John. It's a whole thing. I don't even remember how they originally met in the show, to be honest. I just now remember how she died. But
you mean Mary?
I thought, is Rosie the child? Mary's probably the wife. Yeah. Mary's the wife.
Yeah.
Rosie's
the okay.
Child.
Now
I got that mixed up. Sorry. Yeah, no, you're right there. Towards the middle to the end of the second episode, though, it hooked me. So like, I'm really struggling. And the worst part is I don't even remember the end of the second episode, which makes me wonder if I ever finished it, because it was about the halfway point when I finally like was hooked on this episode. So
I can tell the whole season for you.
No. I'm going into the final episode. I now know kind of one of these pivotal plot characters being Enola Holmes, or I'm assuming is Enola, which is the sister to the Sherlock Holmes brothers. And yeah, words are hard. Anyway, I'm hooked now. Now I'm stoked. Now I want to just go and watch the final episode. But tonight, obviously, it was Moon Knight finale, so I watched that. Tomorrow, I'm not going to be able to watch it. I think I have something going on Friday. Oh yeah, Doctor Strange is Friday. So like, I'm probably not going to get to watch this until like at least Sunday is probably the earliest I'm thinking I'm going to have a chance to watch this final episode. But I'm hooked now. Now I want to really go back and finish the show.
Okay. Good for you. I mean,
it's just weird. It like you said it yourself. It kind of got weird, right? Like the final season.
I mean,
fell off a bit.
The first season was good. Second season was meh. Third season was meh, and then this fourth season was even more meh. Like the first season was like a dramatic difference, and then it was just the same, and that's the problem with a character like Sherlock, because he can't grow, because he's the same as his fucking all the time. And people can try to fight me on the fact, he does grow. That's why he becomes friends with. No, it's just who he is. He's always got a plan that's going in the future, and that's why I hate those kind of characters. But yeah, I don't know. It was all right. You know what? When it first came out, it was clever. It was different, a different take on him. But it's hard to watch shows where actors just play themselves. Like Martin Freeman is just him. I don't think he's like. I think he's exactly like that in everything he plays. Neurotic, second guessing, quiet.
Yeah, I guess he's typecast that way. Yeah,
everything he plays. I can't imagine a show that he doesn't play.
Yeah, I do have to say, like, I found Benedict Cumberbatch, going back and watching this now, having seen him do other roles since, I am impressed by him. But he does tend to go for the weirder roles a lot of the time. He always goes for a more eccentric role, right?
Who? Benedict?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I would say, like, I think right now he's trying to force that act, like that Oscar win. I mean, he's just picking these dramatically, historically roles. Like if you look at the last few things,
sure,
he's picked.
They've been very,
other than Doctor Strange, it's been very, very historically written for dramatic. And I mean,
sure.
And I'm not surprised by it. I mean, everyone has that point in their career where they're trying to do that, especially when he's had
like Power of the Dog recently. I mean, he's been doing this for years though. Like the Imitation Game, I would argue he was already aiming for that.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, you need to start branching.
Like Doctor Strange, I think.
I mean, Doctor Strange was his first big branch out from all those kind of Britishly acting theater movies. Like,
yeah, it was definitely a departure. And even like his role in 1917 was super minimal. Yeah, I'm just looking across kind of his his movie credentials, and yeah. Anyway, that's enough talking about an old show that I just randomly decided to start watching again. What are you watching these days, Alex? What's going on in your life? Who are you seeing?
Death, just lots of death.
God, that sounds depressing.
You just look up the word YouTube on death, and that's all I'll watch.
Death.
No, I don't watch anything. Well, that's not true. I finished Ozark. Ozark's over.
Yeah, that's on the list. We haven't watched the first part of this season so far. So
well,
this
spoiler
is the final
alert,
season, right?
The world blows up. So it blows up everything up.
Like there's no way that show ends clean. Let's like I don't think anybody expected that.
Depends what you define. Depends what you mean clean, but that's fine.
I mean like everything's been messy so far in the show. Every like character relationship, everything has blown up in their face in one way or the other. We've seen a lot of like actual characters die throughout the show. Other than the core family, they're the only ones who have managed to not have anybody lost as of yet. But I'm like, how do they all get out of this alive? I know that's kind of like what you're hoping for this whole time, but like
the show is like the epitome of what was the words I was looking for? White privilege.
Yeah.
A wealthy white family comes into this non so wealthy white family, and everyone else dies around them except for them.
Yep.
That is the definition of what we're looking for. I don't really care. I think it was entertaining, but it's just funny. And there's no black people in that movie, in that show.
I mean,
there's one. That's
would you want? She
shows up
in the Ozarks.
She's not even from the Ozarks.
Was there a black FBI agent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she leaves. Kind of.
Yeah. But she gets corrupted.
I can't say more.
Okay.
Everything falls to pieces and everything gets back together. Everything falls to pieces, everything gets back together. Which one's true? Which one's not? Who knows?
Interesting. Intriguing.
Yeah, but it's over now.
Yeah.
Over forever.
Are you sad that it's over? Do you wish there was more?
No, I was getting really mad at it at the
end. Great. I got that to look forward to.
It was just like, we keep doing the same things. It's just like, it's, without spoiling anything, just nobody listens to each other. And it's just like, if you just listen to each other, then life can just find a way.
Are you saying that communication is key to healthy relationships, Alex?
No, I wouldn't know. But
Alex only deals in unhealthy relationships, everyone. It's a way of life.
Wow. Way to, make my life worse. Anyways. Suck it. Now who feels bad?
I don't feel bad.
The internet. Wow. Everything I've done.
Yep. All right.
I watched this Autonomy of a Scandal. It's on Netflix.
Scandal?
It was weird. It's like a limited series about some case about rape and stuff.
Oh, that sounds great.
Oh, the rape part's like minimal of it. It's all about the people in it and their society, and again, a bunch of white privilege stuff. It's weird. Like, I'm not even joking about that. Like, I
think we have a title for this episode. It's Alex talks about white privilege, and Matt.
Well, it's about the main character. Well, not the main character. Well, the main character too, I guess. But the main point of the show, like the man who's involved in this whole thing, is literally he's a member of parliament in the UK. So
okay,
and literally goes back through his whole history of him being fortunate because of who he was raised into, and all that stuff. It's a whole lot, But it was really weird because then the twist that's in it, they kind of put through halfway through the show, and you're just like, hey, you could have left that to the last episode, and it's just I guess it makes sense because then it leads into the rest of the story and how suspenseful it is for the one character. Excuse me, and then yeah,
nice. Sounds fun.
It
was all right. I want to talk about how it's May the 4th. May the 4th be with you, Alex.
Man, it's May. It's just another day, man. It's not even a real Star Wars day.
I am offended. You're supposed to say May the 4th also be with you.
Well, but see, with the real Star Wars day is like May 24th, 25th.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the official date. But I mean, like, you can't have a pun with May 24th. You can have a pun with May the 4th.
This is the unsolicited Star Wars day. You know, it's not real.
But everybody treats it as being the real day. I mean, Christmas isn't Jeebus's birthday.
Yeah, but the Bible says so.
But December 25th isn't. Apparently.
Bible says so.
I don't know. Anyway, May the 4th. We got a new Kenobi trailer. Have you seen it? Did you watch it?
I did.
What did you think?
It was unnecessary.
What was your opinion? We got to see a lot more.
Yeah, that was so unnecessary. Like, keep it secrets, bro. Secrets.
Problem with against spoilers, Alex.
The show comes out in less than 20 days. Maybe more. 21 days.
I love these lightsaber, like Tron holding lightsaber, and that's clearly like a double-sided lightsaber there, right? Or is this more like
nothing of the Inquisitors, Matt? God, you say this is Star Wars Day. Know your history. Did you not pay attention in that video game that we played?
Things, the purple like anti-lightsaber.
No, these are weapons. Lightsabers. Oh, did you even play The Last Jedi or whatever the fuck that game's called? The Fallen Jedi?
Jedi Fallen Order? Come on,
yeah,
Alex. It's Star Wars. Get the name right.
I don't care. It's all Star Wars.
Yes, I did play it, and I did fight the Inquisitors. Yeah.
One of them has one.
Yeah. So it's a double-sided lightsaber.
And then if you watch Clone Wars, which you clearly did not, I know you didn't, or because they don't show up until Rebels, so it doesn't really matter. But they're in there, and they have them. But yes, it is it's very famous lightsaber. That's why it was one of the big reactions. It was like, oh shit, those are real. So those are Inquisitor lightsabers. So
cool. This guy is creepy as heck.
The Grand Inquisitor. Come on, man. This is getting out of hand. Go on.
She's obviously the most badass of this whole thing.
That's
it's
like
Luke.
Sister 8 or something. We've seen that already. We've seen this. Saw that. All right, saw that. We didn't really see that, but we've seen this scene before. Right.
We got Luke, and he's, I'm assuming, practicing to be a pod racer, but could also just be him practicing his pilot skills. Who knows?
Yeah, we've seen this scene before from the last trailer. So don't need it.
Yeah. And then this is a new scene where we're basically being told
why show this to us? Like this is such a pivotal scene.
I mean, it is a pivotal scene. Like the dialogue is excellent. It's like the boy needs to be trained, says Obi-Wan Kenobi. Meanwhile, old Uncle Owen turns to him and he's like, "Yeah, that turned out real well when you trained his father." Oh, sick burn!
Yeah, see, like, why? Like, leave that for the movie, like, what for watching experience. Go on.
Yeah, so we got that. Let's see what else. So they're obviously hunting Kenobi. Sweet battles. We got our a shot at Kumail Nanjiani. I'm trying to figure out, is he like an ex-Jedi as well? Like, I'm just trying to figure out from his outfit, or if he's just like some rando. Maybe
probably some sort of
beginning the rebel and start in some way. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Like the robe's definitely like, it's a bit of like a tunic shirt. I like it feels Jedi-esque. You got a bit of a hood there in the background, but I really don't know anything about his character.
It's been a real secret. Yeah. In the microphone.
That was a cool little droid. I don't think I've seen that one before. How it kind of like pops around the palm there. It's got these like little wingtips. It actually reminds me of like kind of the droid, not the droids, but the robots from that movie Flubber with what is his name? That played the genie.
Wow.
Robin Williams.
Wow. That's I don't know anymore, man. I don't think you need to, like...
It's been a long day. But yeah, you remember like the movie Flubber and how he built these robots and they would talk to him and all this stuff. It just kind of like the design, the way it's moving. That's what it reminds me of, like immediately.
Yeah, there was one robot and it was his like best friend. Anyways, go on.
He had more than one robot. He had like a red one and then he also had a yellow one.
I don't believe you. Anyways, go on. Next.
Let's see. We got a cool ship there. We get to see Darth Vader getting turned on for the first time. No pun intended. Which is kind of weird because you see him get in the suit and it turn on at the end of Revenge of the Sith, right? So it's kind of weird them kind of redoing that scene a little bit here.
Well, he's not in peace all the time. He's in his fucking regeneration.
But it looks like it's being like installed for the first time there. I don't know.
No, that's just
this, like, dramatic
the show because
scene
he's
of
on
Kenobi.
Mustafar, probably all just hanging out in his little tank, and they're like, "Oh, I think we know where he is. All right, let's go get him."
But do you think this is him gonna like wake
and
up?
Like, look at me, I'm alive now, and then I'm gonna show up on Tatooine and cut his head off. Go on. Am I wrong? That's what he's thinking, but he's not gonna say it like that. He's gonna be like,
"Yeah,
we will do something. You have failed me for the last time."
So somebody shared with me a video today of like Darth Vader saying, "Luke, I am your father." Or no, he says, "No, I am your father." In like all the different languages, like dubbed in all the different languages. Sure. So I was laughing. It was pretty funny to hear like the different inflections used by the various voice actors who have dubbed that movie. Made me laugh. Thought it was funny.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yep. What other Star Wars news have you heard today?
I don't know. I don't think there was anything.
I thought I heard there were some more things. All right. So there's a new Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber replica that you can buy. It will be 280 doll hairs American. So pretty expensive up here in the Canada. I'm going to bring up the pre-order site here. Show this fancy thing off.
I mean, there's Lego Star Wars deals on Lego. You can go buy stuff from Lego if you really want to.
Can't even open it even if I wanted to. Apparently, the pre-order site is... Oh, they're expected to open tomorrow. So 1 p.m. tomorrow. If you're really desperate and you live in the UK or the United States or one other, I believe it said. Oh, it doesn't even give me the option anymore. From Hasbro, you can buy this fancy new Obi-Wan lightsaber for a lot of money.
Yeah. Star Wars, you know.
Star Wars. Yup. What else do we got? Yeah, really, it feels like pretty uneventful. I know Apple did a release on like Star Wars on the Mac. I'm gonna see if I can bring that up. Star Wars.
Because this is a fake holiday. Nobody cares. It's not important to the real Star Wars universe, you know?
Yeah. So it's called Behind the Mac. Skywalker Sound explores a legacy of sound design. So it's kind of a cool little video. It's 16 minutes in length. You can check it out on YouTube. And it just kind of shows like what they did, like the creative ways that they came up with some of the iconic sounds that we know and love from the Star Wars universe, and how they've been building Skywalker sound on Macs from way back. So it's obviously like just a marketing ploy by Apple, but it's at the same time you get to see some cool stuff. It's a bit of nostalgia at the same time, which is pretty cool.
So yeah, I mean, like, the only really thing is like Disney Plus put a bunch of stuff up, like not like new stuff, but they just made a whole category. Because why not?
Yep. Oh, there was an announcement: Light and Magic, a 6-part series about the legendary work of ILM VFX, otherwise known as Industrial Light and Magic, starts streaming July 27th on Disney Plus. We are getting some new stuff, and if you're like me and you love seeing behind the scenes things, you'll definitely enjoy that. Yeah.
Star Wars.
Cool. Wow. So much for that. That May the 4th. It feels pretty uneventful.
There's not a real holiday.
The only thing that I'm sad that I missed out on, I'm a Disney Rewards insider, so like I collect points and then I can put them towards getting stuff. And there was a cool C-3PO and Mando and Jabba figurines, like replica, like not replica, but like scale figurines. They looked really cool. They were very well detailed. And apparently they went up at like noon today, and I got on at like 12:45, and they were all gone. You couldn't get them anymore. So I was like, well, so much for that. I had enough points to get like 2 of the 3 of them, and I didn't even get a chance to order any of them. So
Wow,
And
man.
that's on me. I didn't know about it until today, until it was too late. So
The things I had planned with those things, you know, it could have
I
been a
know,
really
I know, I
cool,
really,
sweet giveaway for the
really let you
podcast.
down.
And, you know, but no, you had to, you know,
Yeah,
just not get on there on time.
yeah, I know. Missed out on that sweet Mando helmet by like 2 points at the bachelor party we attended like a month ago. Now I missed out on this because I just was too late.
Yeah.
The worst.
They should
Anyway,
not let, you know, they should have equaled that out. They shouldn't have let points come from Smash because not everyone plays that. So that's, you know, it's just like, you know.
it wasn't structured well enough. I will say that much. You're right. It was
Mhm.
not very well structured.
Yeah.
Because all you had to do is play as consistently as I was playing throughout the day to get points, basically.
Yes. Yes. And I woke up at like
um,
2 o'clock. So,
yeah, yeah.
and then I left for 2
Let's talk
hours.
about a little something I like to call the dumb company that decided, hey, we're going to sell Eidos Montreal, we're going to sell Crystal Dynamics, and we're going to sell Square Enix Montreal. Now, these three studios, these are game studios, are responsible for franchises such as Tomb Raider, Hitman, Avengers, Deus Ex, Thief, Legacy of Kain, just to name a few. And these were all owned by Square Enix Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a couple frustrating things about this. So Square Enix, for anybody who doesn't know, is the developer behind the Final Fantasy series, which is obviously huge and been very successful for them over the years, even if, you know, recent entries, in my opinion, have been kind of meh. The games that I have been impressed by that they owned were like the Tomb Raider series, which in my opinion have been very good. I'm not going to say they're like, you know, 10 out of 10s, but they're like at least 8 out of 10s on a bad day. Like, really did enjoy the Tomb Raider game so far. I know Avengers didn't get off to the strongest start, but I feel like by now it's kind of like picked up. A lot of people did enjoy it as they released more content throughout the years. Deus Ex has a rich history. People really love that series. Thief, again, same thing. Legacy of Kain. There hasn't been a new Legacy of Kain forever, but nonetheless, huge titles. Every time they release one of these, Square Enix would come out and one of these Western IPs, Square Enix would come out and say it underperformed. It didn't achieve our expectations. I think even Guardians of the Galaxy, if I'm not mistaken, is from one of these studios. Correct me if I'm wrong, Alex.
I think it was a Square Enix one.
Looking up, Guardians of the Galaxy was
You have my
created by
physical disc, so
Eidos Montreal. Yeah, yeah.
I
So
know.
Guardians, like, excellent reviews. Won an award at the Game Awards for like the best story. And yet Square Enix underperformed. We're not happy. It doesn't matter how much money it makes. We're not happy. So they go and they sell these studios. Supposedly, one of the things they wanted to focus on was the blockchain, or NFTs, as you all know how much Alex and I love NFTs. Really, really funny. So we heard about this Monday? So like 2 days ago, this news came out.
Yeah,
Does that sound about right? Today, the Wall Street Journal reported that the NFT market is flatlining and is down 92% from last September. So it's like you sold these three studios to focus on this like emerging technology that was like a fad at best so far, and ever since has like the more and more companies I hear talking about it now, it's like you guys miss the 15 minutes of fame this thing had by months now, probably even longer than that. It's just and like I'm reading an article about, I haven't read the whole article, but like they basically encapsulate this line here encapsulates what my feeling has been on it since NFTs debuted, which was NFTs feel like the most extraordinarily precise emblem of the 2020s. It's all a glaringly obvious pile of bullshit. Companies are literally selling a line of code on what they call a blockchain to repackage the extremely old idea of digital asset ownership as the next big investment you should get in on now while the going is good. We've been buying things digitally for years. Any time that there's been like a limited number of a digital anything, that's total bullshit. Like, even the idea of like the whole like using the blockchain to sell it as like essentially a glorified serial number. Like, you and I could have a randomizer that would go through and give you a random serial number or code or whatever to say that this is your genuine version of this digital thing that I can just hit clone, copy, paste, whatever I want to do 1,000, 1 million, infinite number of times. As long as I have storage space somewhere, I can make more of these with no effort. Like, regardless, Square Enix, you done fucked up. You're dumb. And that's all I have to say.
Well, maybe they wanted out of it, you know?
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe they just wanted out of it. We don't know.
Yep. We don't know.
Maybe they thought $300 million was like, okay, cool, we're good.
Which it seems obscenely low for like those three companies. I don't know about you, but 300 million does not seem like nearly enough to be buying massive studios such as those. But hey, that's just me.
Well, maybe it got valued at that, so they would have had to do some sort of valuation. So maybe it was only valued at that much.
Yeah.
So that really says something, you know?
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got. We got your favorite movie franchise is coming out with a fourth movie, and the cast has been announced at CinemaCon last week with a trailer. We don't get to see the trailer yet, but what movie franchise would that be, Matt?
My favorite movie franchise is getting another one with a new cast. Did I send a link about this and forgot about it already?
No.
What is it?
What are they calling it? Let's see. Hold on. The Expendables. The Expendables. But
there's a new
Expendables. It's officially called Expendables. EXPEND at 4 BLES.
What?
So Expendables. Forbles. Expendables.
That's the dumbest way to spell that movie. I don't understand.
Anyways, let's see who the cast is. What we got? We got Jason Statham, obviously.
Yep.
Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, Megan Fox, Dolph Lundgren, Tony Jaa, Iko Uwais, Randy Couture, Jacob Scorpio, Levi Tran, and Andy Garcia, and of course Sylvester Stallone, who's apparently taking a back seat in this one.
Is he?
That's what they say. So
is what's his name not returning? Jet Li?
I guess not. No.
To be honest, I don't even know if I saw the third one. So for all I know, his character could have died, and
I remember the third one, I think, vaguely, and he just like leaves at the beginning of the film.
Oh, really?
It just disappears. Like he jumps out of a plane. If I'm correct, this could be the second one. I don't fucking know. And he just jumps out of a plane and he's never seen again. So I don't fucking know.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch the third one.
That comes out next year.
It's terrible.
So that's fun.
Yeah.
Fun skis. They took us so many people from it, though. Whatever. What else we got? Oh, snap. Go back to that. Oh, no. We got Doctor Strange out this Thursday. You know?
Yes. Very excited. So you're seeing it Thursday.
Yes,
I'm seeing it on Friday.
Yeah,
do not spoil it. I will block your number if I have to.
I will text you everything that happens. Minute by minute. Like, you know, it's just going to be like, oh, shit, he does this. Oh, shit, this person showed up. Oh, shit, this person just died. So much.
I'm trying to avoid the most recent trailer. I've seen a couple clips pop up here and there. I've had a couple ads pop up where it's kind of hard to miss it. Yeah, like it's really hard to avoid.
Because there's the one scene of this character that shows up. I'm like, we already knew she was there. Or spoiler, I guess I just said that. We already knew they were there.
Yeah,
but like wasn't confirmed until this fucking
Sure.
scene, and it just shows you that scene in the fucking trailer, and you're like, I didn't even watch the trailer, but like the scene in that ad or whatever the hell I was watching, and I was like,
Yeah.
you bastards, why would you ruin that for me? You fuckers. This is
Yeah,
why I hate
it's definitely
trailers.
been like I saw in a few of the ads like a certain like beast that they're fighting, and I'm like, hadn't seen that previously, and that looks cool as hell. And I'm kind of upset that I saw that. I've seen certain like Doctor Stranges show up, and I'm like,
They
all
showed
right, like I
three of
kind of
them.
suspected
They showed like two
we'd
or three of
see,
them in the first
yeah,
trailer.
but we're seeing
Showed
like
three in the first
more
trailer.
and more,
Yeah.
and it's just kind of like yeah, I watched What If. I know that there's a bunch of Doctor Stranges. I almost said Doctor Who in the multiverse. Like I don't need you to show me this much before the movie comes out. Like it's
Fucking
gonna
internet,
be a
man.
hit. Like
They
who
just
are
ruined
you
another-
worried is not gonna buy tickets that are now gonna buy it because of as you've shown as much as you have? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think it's a little bit much personally. I almost feel like trailers these days need to have a spoiler warning ahead of time. Be like, you can watch the first 30 seconds of this trailer, and if you watch any further, you're gonna get spoilers for the movie. Like, I don't know.
God damn, Twitter's like just the worst. Just spoiled more things for me about Survivor. I was like, God damn it. Just trying to find information on the internet and then just spoils other stuff for you.
Yeah.
Life. Anyways, big thing that out today for realistically out today was Moon Knight season finale or series finale, some would say.
Well, and it's funny that you say it like that, Alex, because based on how it ended, so before the post-credit scenes, I would say it felt
Spoiler
like
alert if you're ever going to come
had
into
to be
this. If you haven't watched
season.
it yet, go watch it now.
Yeah,
and then come back.
This is a good time to pause, watch the final episode, or watch the whole show if you haven't already. Pause here, because anything we talk about after this is probably just going to be Alex and I ranting about something. And
it's just going to be yelling at everything. So go on. That's how I do.
So
Somebody has to be
yelling. Spoiler mode officially activated. So we get the post-credit scene, and that we finally get to meet the third character. I can't remember his name now, obviously, because it's been an hour since I watched the episode. My brain has been everywhere else. What's his name?
Give me a minute. I'll think about it.
You're looking it up, aren't you?
No, it's Jake. Jake something. Because he's been the one like teased throughout the whole series.
Yes.
And they finally, because he's like one of the big ones in the comics. Like,
Jake Lockley.
Jake Lockley, yes, he's the main character in the comics, from what I'm to understand, from what I was reading throughout the weeks. So the fact that he showed up finally is a big deal.
Yeah. And clearly he's like the scariest of the three of them, based on.
Now here's the question: was he the real one?
Well, I feel like. I mean, in some way, they're all the real one, right? Let's be real. In some way, they're all the real one.
No. Steven is made up. We've already know this. That is a degree to a point that he has been made up.
Right.
In somebody's head.
Okay.
You're right. Here's the thing.
I'm saying that
Mark
he's real
made
in terms
up
of, like,
too.
He's a person, but you're right. Like Mark could be made up as well, except like you see Mark interact with his father as Mark. Steven never interacts with anybody.
Well, he sees with his mom. He's the one there to interact with his mom.
Not actually.
Yeah, because when he gets beaten, it's Mark who's taking the beating. That's why That's why Steven got created, was to take that, so he would not remember his mom that one way. Or something
it would give him like peace from everything. Yeah. Okay. Fair.
Yeah. Anyway,
it'll be interesting to find out. But again, like, I feel like we've seen Mark interact with the family, so we know that. I believe we know that Mark is the real, original, per se. But again, when you're multiple personalities, like, are any of them not the real one? Is there a real one, or is there just an original?
Well, I mean, like, who's the government ID that it says?
Yeah.
Well,
we've seen Mark as government IDs, right?
Yes.
So,
yes.
Regardless, Jake Lockley, finally get to meet him. He's the guy that every time they black out and then they wake up, something dramatic has happened and people are afraid of him. why up until now they couldn't figure out that there was a third one really baffles me. Like, it seemed like they should have known this
I think
based
Mark
on
always figured there was a third one, but like
sure.
they just didn't want to admit it or time to talk about it.
Yeah,
They
I
always
mean,
say,
didn't want to admit it is certainly a possibility. Like, because like it clearly they go to a place and like even like the oh, man, I'm struggling with names tonight. His wife in Moon Knight, even she's like, what was that? You know, like when like he just flips the script and everybody in the area is suddenly just like down, right? Yeah, it's interesting. It was really cool. I really want to see Jake's suit. It was interesting to see the god Conchu in a suit in the limo. We now know that Ethan Hawke's character. Well, we don't know, but we strongly are led to believe that Ethan Hawke's character is done as well.
well, the
as
only
that
way
god.
to kill her,
Is through a mortal body.
Was through the immortal
Yeah.
body.
So it seems pretty likely that he's done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But regardless, the way they ended it, even with that, it feels like this is not a limited series. It feels like this is going to see either a season 2 or potentially we're going to see him in one of the MCU movies.
Well, we're going to see him again because they wouldn't just introduce him for no reason.
Right? Yeah.
But this was, from what we're to understand, this was a limited series because it was been not nominated. They put it in for a limited series. So a limited series can't have a sequel.
Yeah.
But I mean, things can change. Like I look at but what they could do with that is like call the new show something completely different with a new character. Right? So with the same character, you can just call it a different show. But
yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? They even said like this was their test. This was their test for new content. From what I was reading at one point, it was that Moon Knight is kind of like a testing the waters kind of thing of how new characters will go over. And like I said weeks ago, this is something we needed. We need new characters. This is probably the best Marvel thing I've watched in like 3 years.
It's been great. I think Oscar Isaac came out and said like this because of this he's like not afraid of working on big blockbusters again. I guess he was pretty turned off after his like last couple he's done.
Yeah, and he played the Egyptian god then, and then so you know,
Apocalypse. We do need to talk about Layla's avatar outfit.
The sacred. What is it? The Sacred Scarab?
Scarlet Scarab.
Scarlet Scarab.
Yeah. So we need to talk about her outfit a little bit because I don't know about you, but it seemed almost blatantly ripped off of another superhero. Any guesses? No? Did you see Wonder Woman 1984? Because those gold wings and those gauntlets, I recognize it's from that part of the world, but regardless, felt pretty ripped off. And I like to Jamie's point, when I said that to her, she was like, well, what are you supposed to do with an Egyptian goddess? Like that's kind of the look. I'm like, fair, but like it felt really over the top, like pulling from Wonder Woman's like kind of golden wing armor with her gauntlets, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. We call to say like, you know, the only problem I don't understand how it had to deal with like childbirth, but that's fine. Because she was Twilight's avatar, so that's why I was the only thing I confused. But
why
like,
is she suddenly a warrior?
Yeah. Well, I mean, she can be a warrior. Like all the gods can have magical powers to be.
But like Harrow made a good point when he was talking to the other avatars. He's like, "You're judges. You're not warriors." You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they have to be able to like. They're gods. They have the power to destroy and birth or whatever.
Well, do things anyway. Yeah.
It's unfortunate we didn't get to see more actual gods, like how we saw Conchu and Ether, whatever her name was. How we actually got to see them. I would love to see Conchu as his original form, not his death form. That it like it's clearly because even they mentioned it in the show where she's like, "Oh, time has not been good for you," because he's like clearly decaying because now he's just skull.
Yeah,
right? He's
yeah.
supposed to be, I think, what is Khonshu? Khonshu is supposed to be.
Khonshu is. Oh, weird. Doesn't say.
I guess so like he's not really an animal, so he's just and he's only really like pictured once in like most of history, and it's just a
Mhm.
human who can like take over the. He's supposed to be a bird, from what I'm gathering
Mm.
from a lot of these pictures, but
Yeah,
for
yeah,
most
yeah.
pictures, he's pictured as a human.
Mhm.
Unlike other gods, where they're more say like the hippo or the snake or the crocodile or the
Yeah.
dog or the cat. But from
Yeah,
what I'm
apparently,
getting,
like
he looks more like a bird.
yeah, so when you look at, like, his name in hieroglyphs, it's, like, the moon,
Yeah,
like a stalk, like a corn stalk of some kind, or wheat stalk, and then a bird. Like, that's the
yeah.
3 hieroglyphs that make up Khonshu. Um, but yeah, the way, like, he's described, Khonshu's name reflects the fact that the moon travels across the night sky, for it means traveler, and also had the titles Embracer, Pathfinder, and Defender. It was thought to watch over those who travel at night. As the god of light in the night, Khonshu was invoked to protect against wild animals and aid with healing. It was
Mhm.
said that when Khonshu caused the crescent moon to shine, women conceived, cattle became fertile, and all nostrils and every throat was filled with fresh air. All right, there you go. The more you know.
Yeah.
Oh, and apparently in
So
the movie series Night at the Museum, it was Khonshu that powered the tablet that led to
them all becoming
inanimate
alive,
objects to come to life at night.
which
That's
makes
cool.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's pretty cool.
So they kind of changed to like the crocodile god because that's supposed to be Sobek, but
Hmm.
he doesn't exist in the MCU, so they used whatever her name is, Amit.
I meant, yeah.
Amit, who kind of uses the character of a snake, I guess, in more sense.
Yeah,
Um,
I thought it was a crocodile.
yeah, so the crocodile god is called Sobek, and he's not in the Marvel
Hmm.
universe apparently. Well, from the article I'm reading right now. Um, so they used Emmet's
Kind of
because
look.
it seems like a good companion for Moon Knight's villain. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, like I'm
I mean,
reading
will
up
ultimately,
Amit was the goddess in Egyptian religion with the forequarters of a lion, hindquarters of a hippopotamus, head of a crocodile,
mhm.
which are the 3
Yeah, she was the
largest
judgment
man-eating
of dead
animals.
of the dead. She
Yeah,
was,
devourer of the dead. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Anyways, back to your original thing about the costume. I think that had to happen. Like it only makes sense as an Egyptian god. I
yeah. Like
think it
how
just
much
it
can you
what
do?
I think what made it more remind you of it was because Wonder Woman, who plays her, um, Gal Gadot, is very Middle Eastern in that sense. Well, that
Well,
part of
it
the
was less
world,
about like I understood
because like
that. Like
in
that didn't bother me. It
Wonder
was just
Woman,
the
like she
golden
uses the metal.
wings and the way they were used right away. It was like that's like straight out of
Yeah,
Wonder
but
Woman 1984.
her wings were from her back, and these are from her arms. So like Matt, come on,
Are they
these
from her arms?
yes.
I thought they came out from like her back and they were just kind of like worked
I'm
in
pretty sure
time
they're
with her
attached to
arms.
their arms.
Oh, if
Let's
that's the
look it
case,
up.
I completely missed that. Um,
So I have it here. Um, yeah, they're attached to our arms. Like if we here, I'll show this to the
yeah,
screen.
yeah, bring it up because I missed that then.
So much work to get share screens. You know, it's like boopity bee, boopity bee doobie. So yeah, so you got like so this is the original one of the original comic book versions of it. Obviously, it was a
Yep.
man in the books, but yeah, so it's attached to her arms. It come from her back, but like she uses them from her arms.
Yeah, they work in time with her arms. Yeah.
Yeah, and then let's look at Wonder Woman.
Yeah, we'll get a side by side here.
Their golden armor, yeah, it comes from her back, right?
Hmm.
So I don't know where this is gonna take me. So yeah, it comes from her back because the golden armor was an Amazonian thing.
Can you bring it up? Like, can you get like a side by
Oh,
side?
sorry, I thought it was showing the screen that
Oh,
I'm
it's okay.
on. And let me just see here. Share another screen. Oh no, stop screen. So I can't really show you them beside each other, but Here we are. So if we just look at Wonder Woman itself,
Yeah, like
I'll
the
just go
wings
over
are
here.
quite a bit larger. They're more like
Yeah,
angelic.
this is a lot more of a, I'd say, a metallic, like a
This looks more
an
like
Amazon,
like
an Amazon
like
more suit.
armor. Yeah, no,
The
you're
other one
right.
that she has is very Egyptian, and I think that's what they were
Yeah, no, I
going
think
for,
just
sure.
like I think the gold wings right away, and then like the way that she used her gaunt like her what are they called? They're not gauntlets. The bracers. In that like
Yeah,
form to like defend against. It felt very Wonder Woman-esque, but again, like I get it. Like, what else are you gonna do?
yeah, and like it was really just to give like a Middle Eastern like superhero, like they say in the
Mhm.
TV show, in the actual show.
Yeah.
Um, not a Middle Eastern. She's not from the Middle East. She's from Africa. Egyptian um superhero, right? Because
Mhm.
that we don't really, you don't see many people like that, and that's fair. You don't really see, and the only other African superhero we have is obviously Black Panther. Um, in today's media, so and
Mhm.
then there's a giant hippo, so whatever.
Yeah.
Um, what a weird title if you're looking at the screen right now. Like, why does it matter? Like,
Yeah,
god
well,
damn.
exactly. Oh, well, it matters because of the what came out recently about how Disney doesn't have any gay characters. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but they announced, like, what was it? When that came out, Disney
Yeah.
literally announced that um the girl from Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, and
Hmm.
the girl from another show that is coming out are gonna be partners. And they already said
Oh, are
that.
they?
Yeah.
Mm. Miss
Um
Marvel?
no, she's too young.
Mm. I don't know.
I can't remember what it was. But because like Miss Marvel, she's like 13, 14.
Yeah,
Kate
yeah,
Bishop's
yeah.
got to be at least almost 18 at this point,
That's a good
right?
point. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good point.
Um, but I can't remember who it was. It could be America Chavez that they said that. Oh,
Yeah.
but like it's just like I don't think it matters. Like I get representation. We can go through this, but I don't really want
Yep.
to. But like the characters, like I don't think sexual orientation needs to necessarily be somebody's personality, but that's on screen, right? That like
Hmm.
you can do that other stuff, other ways, and they have. They've done it with Eternals, um, right? Because they have a whole male relationship in there.
Hmm.
Um, where did they say it? I'm pretty sure I read that they were going to do that, but can't remember.
It's all right.
And the internet's not telling me because they don't want to.
Stupid internet.
Maybe it was. No, that can't be right. Who knows? Anyways, I read it somewhere. So unless I made it up in my mind, um, which I highly doubt, then you never know. Maybe I did make it up in my mind. Maybe it's some crazy dream I had. Um, uh, doo-doo-doo.
Beep beep boop boop.
Hmm.
Aha. He. Oh. Nice. Well.
Yeah. Well, that's how we'll end life there. So,
Hmm.
but speaking of it, because Saudi Arabia is like, and the Middle Eastern places are like censoring parts of the film, want to censor part
Yeah.
of the film because of a gay scene in it. So
Hmm.
I don't know. I haven't seen the movie yet, so I don't know. Maybe America Chavez's character is gay, and who cares? But and that would make sense for her to be in a partnership with a gay bishop because
Yeah.
they're the same age, I would assume. And why does it
Seems
matter?
reasonable. No, I don't exactly. Why does it matter?
Why does it matter? Let's get in nuts. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to get into that.
I'm like, I'm not prepared to have that conversation.
Oh man, like on a sidebar because like It is something we could talk about, and we won't go too much about because I got Survivor the last 2 seasons. So the last 2 seasons, Survivor shot back to back. So the second season, the series that's on right now, they never got to see the season before them, so they have no idea what happened. Both seasons had these a very strong black cast,
Okay,
right? Black not characters, black people on them. And both seasons had a moment where the first season totally kind of understood it a bit, with everything going on and what was going on in the world. How it had they just had a moment about standing up for being black or partnering only with black people, and trying to make reputation matter. Yet they just kept voting out black people. Anyways, but it was the black people voting out the black people. That was the whole thing. So, and.
All right.
There was a point, there was some point where they drew a line and they were like, "Oh, you gotta stand with your black people and all this," and I get that, and whatever. And then so this season happens, and last week, so the week before last, there was the girl got voted out. She was black, Chantel, or whatever her name is. I don't remember Survivor names. It's very hard for me to remember their names. There's 200 of them. Anyways. She gets voted out strategically, and the two people that vote her out, two of the people that vote her out are black. We're at a point where it's an individual game, so everyone's voting, pretty much. Last week, they put it into two groups they split up the vote into two groups, and two people got voted out. So there are two groups of 5, and each of those 5 people had to vote out one person each. So 2 people got voted out. So the first group goes, and it was Roxroy. It was just all guys. And Roxroy, who's black, wanted an all-male alliance, which obviously the internet didn't like anyways. And there were a few people in there who didn't want that anyways either, on the tribes. So one guy orchestrates to try to get him out of it. So he eventually gets voted out. Spoiler alert if you haven't caught up on Survivor, so get whatever.
Too late now.
Yeah, and he's again black. So, and the advantage of the second team, who won the second immunity, who won the whole event, gets to come in second and see what happened, who got voted out right away. When they show up, they're all shocked and dismayed that this person got voted out, that Roxroy got voted out. And beside him on the jury, there's 2 people on the jury, Chantel and Roxroy, both black. So on this one has Drea, Marysville, I can't remember her full name, I don't remember, and Tori, who's white, and 2 other people who are white, but Maryville and Drea are both black. So they get there and they're like, oh, they're all so upset and they're shocked. This is so subconsciously they were voted out because they were black. And I'm like, and that's where it kind of went down. It kind of just started talking about and then I kept saying it's not about race, but then they're like, but because I'm a black woman, I am not going to be putting down Marianne's vote, who they were going to vote out. And then Marianne said the same thing, because I'm black and a black woman, and I'm trying to represent myself here. And then I'm not going to put Dre's name down so it doesn't look like a pattern subconsciously is happening.
Yeah, sure.
And all I'm thinking, and as a person as color in this event, if I was there, I would have lost my absolute shit on them. Because in the end, I don't know their personal struggles. I don't know what they've been through. I do not know their life as a black woman, but I know my life as a colored person. I'm not black, as a colored person, and Survivor is a way to for me is a way I get escape what's going on in the world. It's fun to watch other people to hate their own lives, because they're stupid and it makes me laugh. But I was so mad because they were saying it wasn't about race, but then they were saying it wasn't about race. It was a whole thing, and I would have to show you the whole clip to really understand what they're going for.
Sure.
And then the white,
I feel like I'm following though. Yeah.
One guy goes well, now you're making me feel like I'm racist but subconsciously I'm and I'm not. And I'm like, all I wanted somebody to say was, what about the 4 white people that were voted out right before these 2? Was that a racist act? What about the time the 2 black people voted out the other black girl right before it? All the other people on the other team that voted out the Roxroy, the black guy, there were 2 Asians, a Muslim, and another white guy who was trying to learn about Muslim. He was interested. He wanted to understand it. So I'm like, how did that have to be about race at all? It was the idea that this one guy tried to start an all-male alliance when two of the other guys have stronger relationships with some of the women on the other side. And I was just like losing shit. And then they were on about representation. And if I was there to be like, when was the last time a brown person won the fucking show or an Asian won a fucking show? There's 2 Asian winners, one brown winner, 4 blacks. Yes, it's season 42. Most of them are white. I get that. But that's going to happen in a majority country where most people are white and they didn't allow other people on the show.
Yeah.
And now that Canada's opened up a bit, it's kind of changed a bit. But it's just like, holy, I want somebody who wasn't black or white to be on that tribe and call that out, because it wasn't. If it's about a minority thing, and that's the problem with, I find this just a rant about race right now, because it's been on my mind for the last week.
Let it out.
Is that I get black, like the situation, what's going on with the black people in America right now is tragic and it shouldn't be happening. And I get that. But we can't ignore the fact, especially right now, this month is Asian Heritage Month, Asian and Islander Asian Month. Mm-hmm. And we can't forget about all those things happening. And but where's the publication of that? Where's all this publication of that? Yes, there are more blacks in America than there are the other minorities. But then if we're going to call the blacks a minority, we need to start acting the rest of the minority. And it's, anyways, downhill from there is like that pissed off a lot of people in Survivor. It was 50-50 split there. Like a lot of people were like, I'm never watching this again. It's become too racially charged about this show. And then there's the other half is like, yeah, go. That's right. That's how it should be. I'm just like, the season before was an Asian winner from Toronto. And I was just like, and then obviously, she's now a celebrity, so she's not going to be like say anything negatively of what was going to happen on that show. Yeah. God, I wish somebody was there just to. I'm not saying that their actions are unwarranted, but I'm just like, if you got to make the show, people get on the show to escape, watch the show to watch TV and movies in general to escape
entertainment. Yeah.
Yes, and granted, yes, there needs to be more representation of all minorities, of all cultures in there.
Yep.
When was the last time a Latino won that show? I can't it's there hasn't really been that many. There's been a few, but not many.
But again, at the end of the day, to your point, it's television, it's escapism, it's supposed to be entertainment. Is this the right place to use as a platform?
And that's the thing. It's a fucking...
there's a lot of eyes, there's a lot of viewership.
Yeah.
But again, it at the end of the day, this is a game show.
Well, that's the thing.
Entertainment.
I understand strategy. It's a strategy, and I understand the game is literally about social aspects. That's why they did it. At one point, they did a season where they did 4 tribes: a white, black, Asian, and Latino tribe.
Oh, interesting.
4 different tribes, and they did that on purpose. Or maybe it was just 3. Maybe they didn't do Latino, but they did those tribes just to see as a culture shock to see what would happen. In the end, the Asian team won. They had 3. The last 3 people in the show were Asian. And it's just crazy. And that's a show where the audience does not get involved. They don't vote. They don't do anything. No, they just watch. This is completely of the characters. And that's what it pissed me off about the show. I'm like, you are now bringing in something that's outside of this game into it to make it about this subconsciously.
No merits based on the performance within the game. You're bringing in something completely.
You're saying subconsciously
somebody's an attribute or trait about a person.
Basically, what they said
to do with their skill set or gamemanship or anything like that.
And basically, what they said was all white people subconsciously are racist, and it was just or their thoughts are subconsciously racially charged or something like that. And that's why I need to be on this fucking show. So if something like this happens again, I can ruin their fucking world because anyone I fucking know is white. I don't think, and I was thinking about this. I don't really have colored friends, so I can't really talk about it with them.
Sure,
but my family is white, and I could ruin their lives in these people's lives like this. I'm like, so you're telling me to my face that my family is subconsciously racist. So you're saying they took me from my country, brought me over to this country so I could be their slave? Is that what you're saying? And I just would make them feel so bad that I would win the whole season. I would subconsciously win.
How do we get you on the show, Alex?
I don't know. They didn't take me.
Do we start the campaign here? Do we update the banner? Tweet Alex Pollock for Survivor 2023.
Well, you have to audition. I auditioned maybe 3 years ago, and I got to audition again. Basically, you just send in a video to kind of explain yourself. But I mean, I'm not the most personality charged person, so I'm very quiet
I
until
mean,
I get
this
enraged.
last 20 minutes, I'd argue the opposite.
Well, until you get enraged about something, and I mean, like, come on now. So I'm
Yeah.
interested to see what happened on tonight's episode because it aired 2 hours ago while we were waiting. I could have watched it because I had to wait for you anyway. So,
Yeah.
but I didn't. I was watching Doctor Strange for some reason. So there we are.
Hey, I mean, I planned on watching Doctor Strange this week. I'm not going to get a chance now, but I planned on watching it. I understand your wavelength, where your brain's at.
Yeah. Well, I forgot what happened, and then I watched it, and I was like, "This is not a good movie." Like, it was not a good movie. Like,
It was
if
a
you
pretty
watch,
basic plot. Let's be
I was
real.
just like, "Holy shit!" Like, I didn't watch it completely. Like, it was on the background while I was writing a big email, at the same time. But
yeah,
yeah, and I was it was like fuck, and then I had it on really loud too because I don't have neighbors right now, so I can do everything really loud and
Nice.
it's great. But I also don't have hot water, so it's a whole thing.
Oh no.
That's a whole different
Good thing
story.
you can boil. It doesn't. I guess
No,
it
it's
doesn't
been
really
it's
do you
a
any
long
good for
story.
a
It's a whole
shower.
lot of stuff
You have to
going
tell me
on there.
later.
But yeah, so I'm watching, and then I clue in. This is like probably the last fight scene, and I
Yeah.
was just like, man, this is a horribly plotted movie. Like not plotted, like the way it was shot. Because like I understand they're moving through dimensions and like they go into the mirror world and all this
Yeah.
shit. I'm like, if I had any sense of like sickness, like motion sickness, I'd fucking hate this movie. And then some of the animation obviously was really bad because when they were running, you could tell like they were CGI human beings.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, the acting is fucking morbid in this. There's a whole scene where he just keeps reminding time to talk to him until he gives up, and I was just like, that was so unbearable. Like, I don't know how.
What is his name?
Damaru, something like that. And I was just like, I can't remember sitting through the theater watching this and liking it. I don't know why I did, and if I did, I was fucking stupid.
There's something about sitting in a theater though, especially because there was a lot of visual flair with that movie, which was really enjoyable, right? That's probably like what I remember more than any of the plot.
Yes, it was very bright and very, very. There was a lot going on, and I think that's what hurt my eyes too. Now, being older, also, I've always hated things with a lot of things going on. That's hence why I don't watch a lot of animation, because there's always a lot going on in animation. Because animation is based on everything going on around it.
Visual, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's why it bothers me, and that's why I hate Smash Bros. Go fuck yourself, Smash Bros. Fans. And then I'm fighting words. I know. I'll fight you. Not in Smash Bros.
That's the
I'll fight you with something else. But yeah, so I don't know. It's like I like the character Doctor Strange. I hated everything else happening in the movie. I mean, the whole love story thing pissed me off.
Is a dick, right? Like,
because that's who I'd be. I'd be if I had
Doctor Strange. He's a dick.
If I had the power that he had before even that, like if I was good with like like as rich, like a strategic surgeon, I'd be a dick too. If I was really good, if I was the best at what I did, I guarantee you I'd probably be a dick too. To a point.
A cocky bastard.
Yeah, because if you're the best, there's nobody can surpass you until somebody does, and then you're screwed. But I was just like, fuck. Then anyways, and then I kept watching it, and then like the ending happens, and I was just like, this movie just ended. It just ends. Like there's no. Oh, the guy walks away, and we haven't seen him in 10. When did this movie come out? When did Doctor Strange come out? When did
2014?
All I can find is the second one. Fuck. Stop giving me the second movie. 2016.
Oh, 2016. Wow.
So it's been 8 years ish, right? Is that math right?
6 years.
6 years. Yeah, 6 years. And we haven't seen the one guy, which we're going to see obviously in this movie and then tomorrow, or I'm going to see tomorrow. Not Idris Elba's character, Chedrio Ejiofor. I can't ever say his name, but that's his name. Julio Ejiofor. Like, I don't know. I can't say his name. But good for him for always making a really hard name because then people will remember it. Anyways, and we haven't seen him since this movie, and now he's going to be a prominent thing in this movie, and he just walks away in the first one.
Oh, yeah.
And now he's got braids and stuff, so it's kind of weird. So yeah, and the whole thing, and then she just gives him. He's like, no, you have to choose to be, and then Wong. It's Wong who makes him the decision, become the supreme, whatever the hell he's called. And I was like, So he just picks up this was I understand that it was like set to be in history, like in a little timeline that he was meant to be.
Yeah.
But the way it sounds like anyone could have just picked up this fucking cape and became the Supreme Leader or whatever the hell he's called. Supreme something. I don't know. And then he doesn't even have the time stones. Like, I don't even know what he does anymore. Ugh.
I mean, he's still a protector of the realm, even without the time stone.
I guess. But so is Wong. I guess Wong is now the Supreme.
Wong is technically, the Supreme Protector, Supreme... Strange, Supreme...
Master Supreme?
Sorcerer Supreme.
Sorcerer Supreme, yeah. The ancient one, because then there's Tilda Swinton playing, an Asian man's job, but whatever. That's not whitewashing anything I've ever heard of before in my life. I'm sure they had their reasons.
She's an excellent actress.
Is she, though? Name one other thing you liked that she was in, other than the Witch in the Wardrobe bullshit.
Well, you got me.
I would know a movie you liked that she was in, but I don't think you liked it because
of
her.
In Snowpiercer, which was an excellent movie. Oh, she was in Constantine. She played that really weird angel that fell from grace.
Sure.
She was in The Grand Budapest Hotel, which is a terrific movie, but I don't actually remember her character at all in that movie.
Well, you could probably say a name and they were in that fucking movie, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I personally do not care for her. So
fair.
So yeah.
Well,
yeah, so that's fun. That's she was in Trainwreck apparently, so go for that.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares about that movie?
Hail Caesar was a good movie.
Was it? I don't remember it.
You don't remember it? That was an excellent. It was funny as heck.
Oh, I never saw that. That was the one with George Clooney and all that shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yep.
I saw that. It looked dumb. I didn't want to watch it. I think at the point I was over
George Clooney.
I've been over George Clooney for years. But the Coen brothers, I think I'm over them. I was over them at that point because the movies they just kept using the same cast for everything, as some people do.
Yeah.
What's his face?
Caught up in that.
And it's just ugh.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I get it.
But yeah, so that's that. We'll see what Doctor Strange does this week. People are saying it's amazing. It's lovely. It's awesome. Who knows what's next?
Yeah.
We will have our review next week.
Indeed we will. You know what we should do, though? Which we didn't do. What is your review of Moon Knight? The limited series.
I don't go first. I don't go first.
I'm probably like a 8.3 on it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Was it amazing? No, I thought even during the last episode there was a couple cuts they did. There was a really awkward cut where you see Harrow walk out with the little character of Amit, the little statue, and he's holding it, and then they cut away and they cut back, and now he's just holding the staff, and it's transforming, and I'm watching them so
no, you see him smash it.
That's later.
No,
he
smashes it
when he's in the temple, which is fine.
Which is where the power of gods come from.
Yes, but I'm talking about before, after he leaves Mark's dead body and he walks outside, and just as he walks outside into the clearing, before they get in the vehicles to drive to the temple, to the pyramid, they just walk outside. They're not in the trucks yet, and he's looking at it and he says something to his group of people. And it makes it sound like it's starting now, and they cut away, and then they cut back to him, and it's just him holding the staff, and that's when the staff glows purple, and the head comes over, and it's oh, so I guess he released Amit now. Now this is his power. I was just very thrown off. What exactly happened? They didn't show anything with the.
What I'm to understand of that, then now I know what you're saying is that the power that was inside of him, now went to the staff.
Okay.
Because
whatever power he was using.
Because the power he was using, he had to touch the people.
Sure.
And then now it was in his staff, which he then transfers when he hits the ground,
It's like
transfers into his.
He seemed to be like way more powerful just by
when
having the figurine.
You see it kind of go through him and then go into the staff, and then you see the staff when he hits it on the ground at that point. All his disciples get the power as well. That's why you see when he's like, judge everybody.
The pyramid. When
he's like, judge everybody
to them all. But like at that point, it's already after Amit has been released. So it's just it seemed really weird, that whole like choice to do that.
The worst thing that would happen in that scene, like I know when you're talking about cuts, was when Layla finds when she's looking for Kashi's symbol. Like it looks like she finds it and is about to grab it, cuts back to something else, and then cuts back to her, and it's her again grabbing for it. And I'm like,
There was a lot of really like.
I swear we just saw that, but
so I didn't particularly like that, and that's why I'm not giving the show a higher review, because there was just moments like that, especially in this episode. I don't know if I picked up on it in other episodes so much.
I think that was the only episode not directed by the one person. Let me see.
Okay. It felt off. It definitely felt a little bit off. I really enjoyed the last episode, the episode 5. I thought that was just excellently well done. And I didn't dislike this episode. I just felt
who directed it?
Not as well polished, I guess is the best way I can describe it. So I enjoyed Ethan Hawke's character. I enjoyed Layla. Obviously, I enjoyed Mark Spector, Steven. I think Oscar Isaac did a tremendous job portraying those characters. I think 8.3.
It says this last episode was directed by all 3 of them. So that's fucking annoying, because I don't believe that. Let me just go back to see episode 5. Let's see. Yeah, so apparently all 3 of them directed the last episode. Maybe that's why it was all fucked. But the showrunner, Mohammed Diab, who directed most of the episodes, the majority of the episodes, I guess.
Yeah.
He did like most of the episodes. He did episode 5. He did episode 1, and I'm pretty sure he did episode 3. Yes. Okay. So and then the other two directions kind of shared the direction. Like every episode they did together, and then the last episode, all 3 of them did it together, which is kind of a weird way to direct the show, but whatever. But no, it was I would give it, an 8.5, mostly because I value the fact that this show is probably the best thing Marvel's put out in a long time. It was something new. It was something different. So nobody knew anything about this character.
Yeah.
Nobody knew anything about if obviously comic book fans knew about who he was. I didn't.
Yeah.
I never read that far into their hardcore side characters, but it was I would like, and I think Oscar Isaac's performance was well done. I liked the introduction of Layla's avatar and her character. Hopefully we'll see a lot more of that, and then and I enjoy Egyptian god stories, so it's like to see them come alive. That's why I was like, I wish that we saw more of them. Like I wish we saw, because the
ones we saw were really well done. Yeah,
like Toilette looked really good. Fucking Anish, whatever her name was, Anush, I can't remember. Looked really good. Khonshu looked really good when I first saw him. He was like, it was a surprising figure to look at. And the way he just kept changing.
I liked Moon Knight's outfits, like the
fact that scenes like in this. The one thing I really enjoyed was was from this show was the fact that we didn't see their superpower films. That the humans were the superpower.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that was really kind of cool. That's a different take than anything they've ever done. In my opinion, like they weren't their powers; it was who they were.
Yeah.
Whereas the superpower was just who they were. It's not
just
like
amplified their
they didn't already a suit. They didn't have to have super like a super toxin in their body. They didn't have to have the rocks put into them. I forgot what they're called. But it was really cool. And then like to see the gods when the 2 major gods were fighting each other, I thought that was cool. I hate when they do large, like I understand why, but when they're like whenever any character in any movie or every TV show, when the things are gigantic, how slow they move. Like I understand it when things are bigger, they look like they're going slower, and then realistically they're going the same speed. But It's like when you see planes in the sky, how slow they look like they're going, but they're actually going like 10,000 kilometers a mile an hour.
Yeah, because it's so far away. Yeah.
So I get it, but it's just like, so annoying. It's like they did in an Ant-Man when Ant-Man was huge and he was running. In Infinity, like they do that. I understand they do it for all kinds of big characters, like even Power Rangers, they did it and all that stuff.
Well, there's certain moments where it makes sense, and I think like Pacific Rim did a really good job with their Jaegers moving at a certain pace because there is heft to it, and there's gravity, and you know what I mean. And so it makes
gods
sense.
Though, so that's what I mean. Like that's what I mean.
Yeah,
these guys should have been fucking moving like fucking creature. Like the fact that he could just like when they were in the chambers though, they were moving so fucking quick. But the minute they got so huge,
you've got more mass, and so mass.
But they're made out of fucking smoke.
It's physics. Yeah. I don't know.
Especially Khonshu. Khonshu was just made of pure smoke.
I understand how it works, but if he's pure smoke when he's attacking, shouldn't that do nothing anyway? So like,
they're gods; they can do whatever they want. This is what my problem is with it.
Well,
anyways,
they can do whatever they want, but they all have unique abilities. That doesn't mean they all have all of the abilities, right?
And like, and then the thing that also killed me is like they all just killed the other god avatars instantly. Like, how did he have the power to do that? Anyways, still, show is worth it. I think if this is a good sign of new characters that we're going to see, then they have a lot of more. They're putting in a lot more. I understand this was just a test, but hopefully this shows that they can put more effort into new characters and people will be responsive to it. I guess Miss Marvel will be the real big challenge because she's a young girl and not, a male or a white person. So it's going to be really tough to see, especially with the hatred to what Captain Marvel already did, the hate behind that, which some of it is defensible. Some of it is, given. Yeah. That's Marvel's. I still believe that was Marvel's fuck up. That was on them and they should have toned to it, but they never will. They're going to blame Brie Larson the whole time, but that's fine. Anyways, that's where I stand.
And on that note, so all right, so we have a 8.5, 8.3. Moon Knight from PlayPause gets an official score of 8.4, which is a damn respectable score for a new character and new show. And I agree. I think it's the best thing they've done since Endgame.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I still, like I said, I don't count Spider-Man as a Marvel franchise.
It's a Sony film. I agree. I mean, it is Marvel. It's co-done with Marvel, but if you're just talking strictly like MCU driven, controlled stuff, yes, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, and I mean, we need to do like a full Spider-Man review because there are a lot of faults in it, but that's a different story. Anyways, Doctor Strange this week. We'll let you know. Enjoy it. We'll see you then.
Yeah, we'll see you then, or we'll see you another time. Bye.
Bye. Bye.